How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI and Polestar. But before we get started, let's talk about what happened with earnings in regards to Alphabet and Microsoft. They ended up missing on all of their estimates. But despite that, we see momentum happening inside of the after hours to the upside. Notices right away, right on the SPY. So it's going to be very interesting going into tomorrow. But taking this into consideration, since we did have quite the sell-off already for today, it seems like the market has already priced this in, and we're looking forward to seeing what that news is going to look like for the Fed meeting tomorrow. I'll talk about it further in the video, but what we're going to do, we're going to go over the short interest and recent institutional ownership for SOFI and Polestar, and then we're going to be taking a look at the charts and make sure you guys are prepared going into tomorrow. So let's get into it right now. So we're going to take a look at the chart for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.14, being down 4.95%. On the low, it tested $6.12, and then on the high, testing $6.37. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 16.165 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 20.069 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we also seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see that the selling pressure is continuing. And also, we are trading below all of our major moving averages, which is the 50 EMA, the 9 EMA, and as well as the 21 EMA. So, of course, this is a bearish sign. And we also do know the bottom of this range is around $5.33, which I pointed out in previous videos. But we want to know, is $6 going to hold for SOFI going into tomorrow? If we have continued selling pressure and we decide to break below 577, that's where we'll see 533. So please add that to your notes. If you're looking for a turnaround, it needs to come back to at least the 50 EMA, which is at $6.52. That's not too far from the high where it was at $6.37. But again, this would be very key. And then you'd want to see it building support and then see if it can make that move further back up to retest $7. In my personal opinion, if we continue to see weakness inside of these markets, I don't see SOFI getting up there. So that is why, as far as the technicals are concerned, it's very important for SOFI to hold $6 and being able to bounce off of it. So let's see what it does going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to take a look at the recent filings for the 26th. So we have Venture Visionary Partners LLC that purchased 4,100 shares. You can see 2 closed positions. We also have Sky Oak Wealth LLC that purchased 12,044 shares. And we have Chirion Capital Management LLC that purchased 18,960 shares. And we have Invesco Pure Beta MSCI that purchased 5,018 shares. And this was for the 25th as well as for the one for Chirion. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 39.73%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 2.67 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 3 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.65%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 22nd, it was at 35.38, and then for the close of the 25th, being at 39.73. So that is a significant increase right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 19.01%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So we're going to take a look at the chart for Polestar. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $8.86, being down 1.01%. On the low, it tested $8.61, and then on the high, testing $9.07. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 1.657 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 2.43 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we also seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, the first thing I want to bring to your attention, and we talked about this in the previous video, is it going to be able to bounce within this zone of 853 and as well as for 890? And you can see with this candle that we formed on the day, we are inside of that zone. We did get a test at 907, so what we want to see going into tomorrow is a break above this level and seeing if it could reclaim the 9 EMA at $9.50. $8.33. This would be very crucial. If it's unable to do that right now inside of the after hours of trading at 876, we will get that test coming to 853. We did test a low at 861, and you can see from the pattern that we have here, we're continuing to form lower lows, but in this case for today, we ended up having a higher high than we had on the Monday. So that's why I'm very curious to see what it does, but be aware that 52-week low at 853 is an area to watch, because if we break below it, because like I said, it will start trading in the $8.30 range. So overall, let's see if Polestar can bounce out of this zone and get to the 9 EMA, because as we've seen in the past, back on the beginning of July, it was able to do that. Let's see if we have that continuation. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Polestar. Scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings we have here for the 26th, we have AMF pension forsaking AB that purchased just over 4.4 million shares. Wow. And then that was about it. And then when we take a look at the short interest, the off exchange short volume ratio is at 63.73%. And then for the off exchange short volume, it is at 618,486 shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 5 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 151%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 22nd, it was at 52.47. And then for the close of the 25th, being at 63.73. So that's quite the increase, and taking into consideration all the data we went over, Polestar does continue to have short squeeze potential. So to give you guys my final recap for Polestar and SOFI, let's start off with Polestar. So right now it's trading in the bottom of its range, like I pointed out in the chart analysis. And what do we want to see? We want to see a bounce. Will the pattern actually repeat itself? The one way that we could figure this out, if it's able to make a move to $9.33, which is right where we have the 9 EMA. If it is unable to do this and it stays stuck inside of the zone, that's where it can go back to revisiting the 52-week low around $8.53. And if it ends up breaking below that level, then there's a possibility we could see Polestar trading close to $8. Another point that I want to bring to your attention, it is moving alongside with the market. The market has been pulling back, so many tech stocks have been following. And then when we look at SOFI, $6 is going to be a key area that needs a hold. We are seeing a continuation of lower lows and as well as lower highs. And this is not bullish whatsoever. But just like Polestar, it's just moving alongside with the market. If it ends up breaking through $6, and I can see it getting into the bottom range of the zone that I was pointing out. So please add that to your homework. But if you've been following along and if you are a trader, I'm pretty sure you've been making money off of the downside, because like I said, it broke through those major moving averages, and that clearly shows us that there's weakness in the stock. And if you're looking for a move to the upside, you want to see SOFI get to at least $6.50 and then see if it can make that move going to $7. If it can't do that, of course, we're going to see some weakness. But in my personal opinion, that is a lot to ask, and I can see it testing $6 very soon. Another thing that we need to take into consideration, we have Meta that's going to be coming out with earnings in the after hours tomorrow. So depending on what those results are going to be, it will have an impact on the market. We also can't forget that we have a Fed meeting that's going to be going down. So that's going to bring in some more volatility, and we also have to look forward to the GDP numbers. And we had Microsoft and as well as Alphabet that ended up releasing earnings, and I'm going to assume there was some momentum that I saw inside of the after hours despite their misses. So we want to see if they're going to be putting out some good guidance. If they can put out some solid guidance, then as far as for tomorrow, I can see the market actually gaining some momentum prior to the Fed meeting, and then we want to see what it would do from there. I will continue to keep you guys inside of the loop. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be talking to you guys real soon.